How's it going, you guys? AZ Palayo 21 back again with another pay-per-view in our UFC save in WMMA 5, UFC Reborn, and we've got UFC 294 McGregor versus Chandler. That is right. The coaches on this season of The Ultimate Fighter finally going at it live on pay-per-view in the main event, live from Ireland, more than likely, you know, a football soccer stadium or something like that, probably getting it packed up to the gills. In October. Imagine how fucking cold that would be. But either way, McGregor and Chandler going at it in the main event. Other than that, kind of a shitty card. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the case with Conor McGregor cards, though. So I wanted to make it as accurate as possible. I think part of that, I believe, is Conor not wanting to be upstaged. That could just be completely wrong. Or the UFC is just like, we do not need to fill this card up at all because it has Conor on it. It's going to sell. That's all we need. Just Conor, main event, boom. Whatever else is on the card is gravy. That's not to say there's not any good people on this card. Got Derek Lewis versus Biggie Boy. Got Jack Della Maddalena, who just eked out a decision victory this past weekend against Basil Hafez. As I'm recording this, Jack Della Maddalena, a great fighter, but just really, really interesting fight IQ this past weekend. I don't know if it's because the guy was coming in on short notice, but a lot of questionable decisions. He did end up getting the win, though, so good for him. Appreciate you guys for watching, whether it is on YouTube or Twitch. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you have not already done so. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff is going to be in the link in the description. Next time that I see you guys will be for UFC Fight Night Figueiredo versus Munoz. Bantamweight main event in that one, Davison Figueiredo's Bantamweight debut. And then we have UFC 295 Nunes versus Pena 3. Should be an interesting one. Appreciate you guys as always. Let's go and get right into it. UFC 294 McGregor versus Chandler. Of course, live from Ireland. Stroking Conor's ego just that little bit more. Mahashate taking on Christos Giagos in our first fight on the prelims. We got the Chinese fighter kind of even with Christos Giagos at -110, and we have Giagos in an excellent fight, knocking out Mahashate via knee in the third round. Love to see that. So Giagos with a big win there. Gennaro Valdez taking on Vink Pichel at the 155 division. We got Valdez coming in as an underdog at 10-2. Pichel, the 40-year-old veteran, is going to get the win via TKO in round number 2. Gotta love it. Vyacheslav Borshev taking on Manuel Torres here today at 155. And we've got Slava Claus getting the win in round number 1. A TK victory for him here today as he's calling out Vink Pichel. Heavyweights going at it as it's Josh Parisian taking on Hamdi Abdel Wahab. Hamdi is undefeated and he is the favorite at 6-0, getting that split decision victory over Dontel Mays. What a great debut as Parisian hands Abdel Wahab his first loss in his career and the 16th victory of his own. The 16th victory as he gets a win here today. Austin Lane taking on Michael Parkin in the heavyweight division. Couple heavyweights going at it as we have Austin Lane getting the TKO victory in round number 1. Marina Morosh taking on Jillian the Savage Robertson at 125. Pretty good top 15 matchup between these two ladies, and it's Robertson with the Kimura victory submission in round number 2. Juliana Miller taking on Julia Stolyarenko at 125. The Killer Miller, 3-2 in her career, taking on Stolyarenko, and it is Stolyarenko with the split decision victory. More than likely going to cut Miller. Not too many fights under her belt. I believe this is a 135 fight. Zerafarin dos Santos, who is going to be fighting on the same card as Cyril Gane in real life, taking on another Frenchman in Ioni Razafierson. So a couple of French women going at it at 135, and the winner is going to be Zerafarin dos Santos. So the normal featherweights coming down to bantamweight and having a good showing here today. Now Evelyn Martins taking on Janaya Fabian. This is a featherweight fight. Evelyn Martins, PFL former champion, I want to say. No, just a former PFL fighter. Taking on Janaya Fabian. We have a very lackluster featherweight division. Just putting fights out there to see what happens, and it is Martins who does get the win. Still undefeated at 6-0, only 21 years old. Could be something to, you know, protect, kind of, you know, get out there. Name value is unknown. She's only making $200 per fight. Marketability is strong, so not the greatest marketability. She might not be able to talk at all. She knows exactly how to handle these interviews. Great at creating buzz about herself. All right, fair enough. Moving right along, final prelim before we get to the pay-per-view. Matt the Steamroller Frivola taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. The Chilean fighter is a underdog at plus 100, and it is the Steamroller getting the victory here today via decision, the 12th of his career. He's had quite a few nice wins under his belt, especially the one against Otman Zaitar. Love to see it. 3-fight winning streak for Frivola as we head towards our pay-per-view. And so we have William Gomis taking on Nate Landwehr, the guy out of Le Havre. I believe that is in France. Big underdog to Nate Landwehr at 145, and it is Gomis with a huge upset over Nate Landwehr with the TKO in round number 2, and he knows it was an upset. Oh, happy to overcome the odds, and yeah, big win for Gomis here today. Iwan, I forget that's how you pronounce his name, Iwan Kutalaba taking on Mirzakhanov at light heavyweight here today. Iwan is the underdog. We have the undefeated Mirzakhanov, who does get the win, TKO over Kutalaba here today. And yeah, quite a nice little list of some people that he's beaten. Maybe one top 5 victory for Mirzakhanov, and could be looking at a possible title shot maybe. Dustin Jacoby, Ryan Spann, and now a big win over Iwan, who I believe was in the top 10. Yeah, Iwan was number 11. So a good win for Mirzakhanov and getting himself up there in the rankings. Moving right along, Abduraguimov taking on Jack Della Maddalena. Like I said, great fighter, Della Maddalena. Just questionable decision making. Undefeated in the UFC at 4-0. His first fight in save. Same, I believe, can be said for Abduraguimov. Is not his first fight in save, but first fight here in the UFC, making his debut on pay-per-view. How about that, eh? A big chance for the French fighter to make a name for himself against Jack, who is ranked at number 20. And it is Della Maddalena with the decision victory over the incoming debutante. Love to see that. Maddalena more than likely going to creep into the top 15 as we head to our co-main event, which is Derek the Black Beast Lewis taking on Biggie Boy Rosenstrike. Biggie Boy has been a staple of the heavyweight division for the past, I believe, 5 years or so. Love to see it. Coming off wins over Chris Daukaus and then Tom Aspinall. That was actually his first fight in save. He is now the number 5 heavyweight in the division. For Black Beast, number 6 in the division, coming off a TKO over Andrei Arlovsky. And I mean, he's always going to be a fun fighter. Love to see it. Co-main event, main event guy on the fight cards. Probably not going to be, you know, fighting for a title anytime soon, but always down to put on a show. My guess is that Biggie Boy will probably take this one with his skills, and he does just that. TKO over the Black Beast in round number 1. And Rosenstrike may be one big win away from a title shot. You never know. He got absolutely obliterated by Ngannou, which was basically a title eliminator, which was tough for him. As we move on to our main event of the evening, what everyone came to see, the notorious Conor McGregor, who has lost 3 out of his last 4 fights. Khabib, Poirier, and he's facing off with Iron Michael Chandler, who in his own right has lost 3 out of his last 4 fights. Both these guys, very entertaining fighters. You absolutely cannot say anything about these guys as far as like the hype that they bring in and the excitement that they bring to fights. They just have not been winning. McGregor is a huge underdog, which is very notable, as Michael Chandler has been kicking his ass in real life in The Ultimate Fighter. Now, whether he can do that in the cage remains to be seen. Chandler with a right hook early on. My guess is that this does not go to a decision. This is a 5-round fight. And someone, thank you guys in the comments. You guys did let me know that I could actually change how many rounds there are for a fight, irregardless. Big strike. Uh-oh, down he goes. McGregor. Oh no, that's it. 2 minutes. The hometown notorious Conor McGregor has TKO'd Iron Michael Chandler in round number 1. Fight was rated as being great, and I think I know exactly who I want Conor to fight. 11,000 in attendance in Ireland, gate of around 2.5 million. Only made about $1 million off pay-per-view. It is what it is. The pay-per-view numbers in this game are not that accurate, but 11,000 in Ireland is not that great either. Could just be because we're not that popular there, so not many people wanted to come. But I feel like in real life that would definitely not be the case, just because it is Conor. It is what it is. Popularity increases all around. You gotta love it. Fight of the night is definitely going to be that very first prelim fight. Excellent fight. We do have performance bonus for Conor. Let's make him rich because he absolutely needs it, of course. This is going to be one of those times that Dana is like super happy because Conor won. So he's going to give out, you know, a bonus to everyone who got a finish. Everyone who got a finish is going to get some money. So that means everyone on the main card except for Jack Della Maddalena. We got Jillian Robertson. We got Austin Lane. We got Borshev. We got Pachel. And then we got an extra $50K to Christos Giagos. He's going home with an extra $100,000. And because of that, we make a significant loss on the pay-per-view. But that is okay. We don't really need the money that much. And it's basically Conor's pay that got us there. $4 million we just paid to this dude. Insane. Worth it, but insane. A big win for us in the UFC and a big win for Conor McGregor. Appreciate you guys as always. As I said, the next time that I do see you will be for Davison Figueiredo's bantamweight debut. And appreciate you guys as always. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.